further inspection, it appeared that Laila worked at the office. They'd simply taken advantage of having such a comely staff member by putting her front and center on the website. She was not a dentist, it seemed, perhaps a hygienist or a receptionist. "It's so weird that they both went in car accidents, so many years apart," Leo said. Their uncle, their father's brother, had died thusly 13 years before. The two families had grown up estranged from each other. Now Laila was an orphan. "Tragic," Nora said. "Dickensian." She added dramatically. "What is our actual plan here?" Leo asked. He was clearly losing patience with the whole idea, which, at the outset, he'd found amusing enough. He was bored now and wanted to be back in Manhattan. Organ music boomed through the church and Liberty hushed her brother. The service was beginning. Betsy Lawrence was eulogized by her older sister, Jennifer, a short, round woman with whispers of Laila's green-eyed, wholesome prettiness. It was a strange speech, containing nothing specific about Betsy herself or what the world had lost in her passing. "The body that is sown is perishable, it is raised imperishable," she quoted from Corinthians. "It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power." And so Betsy goes home to the Lord. I know my niece Laila wanted to speak about her mother today. I know she loved her dearly. But the shock, I'm afraid. She was twisting a tissue in her hands and appeared overcome, standing at the pulpit as though she had no idea how she'd gotten there. After a moment, a man, her husband, came to collect her, draping his arm around her and shepherding her off the stage. It was an odd moment, but then it was a funeral. The Lawrence siblings had not been to many, only their grandmothers and an older family friend or two. The service was brief, and before long, the organ was once again sounding its dirge, and people were standing up and filing out. Before Liberty could come up with a plan, the three of them were pulled along in a tide of people to the church basement, where the reception was being held. It was an altogether more modern and sterile space than the grandeur of the hall above, fit for Sunday school and AA meetings. There was subdued string music playing, and officious church ladies were ferrying a large spread, tea, cookies, various hot dishes, and, mercifully, several bottles of wine. Now that the funeral goers were no longer restrained by the pews, they gawked openly at the Lawrence siblings. "Is this the mom?" Nora said, picking up one of several framed photos arranged on the table closest to the door. The shot was of a young woman who, if not for the teased hair and color-block 1980s sweater, could have easily been mistaken for Laila. "Must be," Liberty said. "God, Layla's a dead ringer." They made their way down the line of photos. Even Leo was hushed by seeing these images of the family that had been kept from them. Liberty felt tears coming to her eyes when she got to her aunt and uncle's wedding photos from 25 years earlier. She could see so much of her father in his younger brother's face, a man she'd supposedly met but had no clear memories of. Their father, Ben Lawrence, never spoke of his brother Gregory. He'd been gone now 13 years, and all Liberty knew had been gleaned from the occasional overheard conversation in her childhood and what she could discover online, which was not much more than the basics. Her uncle had owned a number of luxury car dealerships throughout Michigan, and he and his wife had one daughter, Laila, who was the same age as the twins. Liberty was 17 when her uncle died. Her father hadn't been an especially warm man to begin with, and the death of his brother had made him even more remote, causing him to retreat further into his work. Repeated searches yielded little more, but Liberty set up a Google alert with Laila's name, which was how she'd discovered Betsy's recent death. And that had brought them here. The three of them moved on to the food and drinks. Liberty poured red wine into the small, sad plastic cups for each of them. Nora examined